Have you ever looked around your room, your neighborhood, your circle of friends, and felt like you're drowning? Maybe you've tried to change, set goals, made plans, but somehow you keep slipping back into the same pattern. You tell yourself, I just need more willpower. I just need to try harder. But what if I told you that willpower has nothing to do with it? What if the real problem is invisible, surrounding you every single day, pulling you down like gravity? What if your environment is not just influencing you, it's controlling you? This is the story of a 19-year-old boy who discovered that he wasn't weak, he wasn't lazy, he was just in the wrong room. And the moment he understood this truth, everything changed. Stay with me until the end, because this story will show you exactly how your surroundings are programming your future, and more importantly, how to break free. In a crowded neighborhood on the edge of a busy city, there lived a boy named Marcus. He was 19 years old, still living with his parents in a small 3-bedroom house that he shared with his 2 younger brothers, his parents, and sometimes his uncle, who drank too much and slept on the couch. Marcus's bedroom was barely a bedroom. It was more like a storage room that happened to have a mattress. The walls were thin. He could hear everything, the TV blaring downstairs, his brothers arguing over video games, his father coming home late from the factory, exhausted and angry. The house smelled like fried food and cigarette smoke. Dirty dishes piled up in the sink. Nobody cleaned unless there was a fight about it first. The energy of the house was heavy, like a fog that made everything feel harder than it should be. Marcus had dreams once. He wanted to go to college. He wanted to learn graphic design, maybe start his own business. But every time he sat down to study or watch an online tutorial, something interrupted him. Marcus, come help your mother. Marcus, your brother needs a ride. Marcus, stop wasting time on that computer and do something useful. His friends weren't any better. They were the same guys he'd known since middle school, good people, but stuck. Every evening, they'd gather at the corner store, smoking, talking about girls, complaining about their dead-end jobs, making big plans that never went anywhere. Man, one day I'm gonna move to LA and become a rapper, said Dion. Yeah, and I'm gonna open a barbershop, added Jamal. But nobody ever did anything. They just talked, and Marcus found himself talking with them, year after year, watching his life pass by through a cloud of smoke and empty promises. At night, lying in his crowded room, listening to chaos through the walls, Marcus would think, why can't I change? Why do I keep wasting time? Why am I so weak? He had tried. He'd set alarms to wake up early. He'd made study schedules. He'd promised himself he'd stop hanging out on the corner every night. But within days, sometimes hours, he'd fall back into the same patterns. What Marcus didn't understand yet was this. He wasn't failing because he was weak. He was failing because he was trying to grow a garden in concrete. One Friday evening, Marcus's life changed because of a stranger's question. He was at the corner store, same as always, when a man in his 40s walked up, clean clothes, confident posture, carrying a leather bag. The man looked out of place in this neighborhood. He nodded at Marcus. You live around here? Yeah, Marcus said cautiously. The man smiled. I used to live in this exact neighborhood 20 years ago. That house right there? He pointed to a house 2 blocks down. Marcus was surprised. This man didn't look like he belonged to this place anymore. How'd you get out? Marcus asked before he could stop himself. The man studied him for a moment. How old are you? 19. Same age I was when I left. The man extended his hand. My name is David, and I didn't get out by working harder or wanting it more. I got out because I finally understood something that changed everything. What? Marcus asked, his heart beating faster. David looked around at the corner, the guys smoking, the broken streetlight, the liquor store with bars on the windows. Then he looked back at Marcus. Your environment is not neutral. It's either lifting you up or dragging you down. And this place? He gestured around. This place is designed to keep you exactly where you are. Marcus felt something stir inside him. Anger, recognition, hope. Meet me tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. at the coffee shop on Oak Street. If you're serious about changing your life, I'll show you what I learned, but only if you show up. Most people won't. David handed Marcus a business card and walked away. That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He set his alarm for 6 a.m. The next morning, Marcus walked into the coffee shop at exactly 7 a.m. David was already there, reading a book, a notebook open beside him. You came, David said, genuinely impressed. That already puts you ahead of 90% of people who say they want to change. They sat down. David ordered 2 coffees and opened his notebook. Marcus, let me ask you something. When you try to study at home, what happens? I get distracted. Someone needs something. There's noise. I lose focus. And when you're with your friends on the corner, what do you talk about? Dreams, mostly. Things we're gonna do someday. But you never do them. No. David nodded. That's because you're living in an environment designed for mediocrity. And here's what most people don't understand. Willpower is a myth. Marcus frowned. What do you mean? I mean, people think success is about being strong enough to resist temptation. But that's not how the human brain works. We are creatures of environment. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. And our systems are determined by our surroundings. David drew a circle in his notebook. Imagine your life as a circle. Inside this circle, you have 5 environments. He drew 5 smaller circles inside the large one. Environment 1, your physical space where you sleep, work, and spend time. Environment 2, your social circle, who you talk to every day. Environment 3, your digital space, what you watch, read, and consume online. Environment 4, your body, what you eat, how you move, how you rest. Environment 5, your mental space, the thoughts and beliefs that loop in your mind. David looked up at Marcus. Right now, all 5 of your environments are working against you. Your physical space is chaotic and distracting. Your social circle talks about dreams but takes no action. Your digital space is probably filled with entertainment and distraction. Your body is running on junk food and no exercise. And your mental space is filled with guilt and self-doubt. Marcus felt exposed, like David could see straight through him. So what do? Marcus asked quietly. You redesign your environments, one by one, and I'm going to show you exactly how. David pulled out a sheet of paper and wrote 3 rules. Asterisk, asterisk. Rule 1. Change your physical space. First asterisk. Asterisk, you cannot study in chaos. You cannot grow in clutter. Find one space, a library, a coffee shop, a park bench. I don't care where that becomes your sacred space. Go there every single day for 2 hours, minimum. That's your new environment for growth. Not your bedroom. Not your house. Somewhere else. Asterisk, asterisk. Rule 2. Audit your social circle. Asterisk, asterisk. Here's a hard truth. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your 5 closest friends are going nowhere, guess where you're going? I'm not saying abandon your friends. I'm saying reduce exposure and add new people. Find one person who's doing what you want to do. One mentor, one peer, one community. Join online groups. Find meetups. Go to events. Add before you subtract. Asterisk, asterisk. Rule 3. Control your inputs. Asterisk, asterisk. For 30 days, I want you to go on a content diet. No social media scrolling. No mindless TV. No negative news binges. Instead, every morning, consume something that builds you a podcast, a book, a course. You're going to replace junk content with high-quality fuel. Your mind is a garden. Stop planting weeds. Marcus stared at the paper. It seemed simple, almost too simple. That's it? He asked. That's the foundation, David said. But here's the challenge. Do this for 90 days, every single day. Track it. At the end of 90 days, your life will not look the same. But you have to commit, not try. Commit. David leaned forward. Marcus, I'm going to tell you what nobody tells young people. You don't have a motivation problem. You have an environment problem. The moment you change your surroundings, your behavior changes automatically. It's not magic. It's biology. Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. Clarity. I'll do it, he said. Starting today. Good. Then here's your first assignment. Today, find your sacred space. Go there. Spend 2 hours learning one skill. Just one. I don't care what it is. Graphic design, coding, writing, sales. Pick one and start. Text me when you're done. David stood up. I believe in you, Marcus, but belief doesn't matter. Action does. Show me. That afternoon, Marcus walked into the public library for the first time in 3 years. It was quiet, clean, bright. Nobody knew him here. Nobody needed anything from him. He found a desk in the corner, opened his laptop, and started watching graphic design tutorials on YouTube. The first hour was hard. His phone buzzed. Text messages from friends. Where you at? Come through. He ignored them. The second hour, something shifted. He was actually learning, creating. For the first time in months, he felt like he was moving forward. When he left the library, he texted David. Day 1 done, 2 hours. Graphic design. David replied immediately. Proud of you. Same time tomorrow. No excuses. The first week was brutal. His friends called him a fake intellectual for going to the library. His family asked why he was acting different. "You think you're better than us now?" But Marcus kept showing up every day, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The library, his sacred space. By week 2, he stopped checking his phone during those hours. He was deep into design principles, typography, color theory. He completed his first freelance logo for a local business, $50. It wasn't much, but it was proof. By week 3, his body started craving the library. It became his escape, his refuge, his growth zone. In his social circle, Marcus made a quiet change. He didn't cut off his old friends, but he stopped going to the corner every single night. Instead, 3 nights a week, he went to a local entrepreneurship meetup he found online. There, he met people his age who were building businesses, learning skills, taking action. For the first time, his conversations weren't about someday, they were about this week. He met a girl named Lisa who was learning web development. They started studying together at the library. Then he met Terrell, who was building a social media marketing agency. They shared resources, held each other accountable. Marcus's circle didn't completely change overnight, but it expanded, and the new additions were pulling him up, not down. At home, Marcus made small changes. He couldn't control the chaos, but he could control his corner. He cleaned his side of the room. He bought a pair of cheap headphones to block out noise. He started waking up at 6 a.m. before anyone else, giving himself 1 quiet hour. He stopped eating fast food every day and started meal prepping simple rice, chicken, and vegetables. His energy improved. His focus sharpened. But the biggest change was his digital environment. Marcus deleted Instagram and TikTok from his phone. He unsubscribed from YouTube channels that wasted his time. Instead, every morning during his quiet hour, he listened to business podcasts. He read articles about design and branding. He consumed with intention. His mind, once cluttered with gossip, comparisons, and distractions, started clearing. New thoughts emerged. I could start my own agency. I could help local businesses with their branding. I could build something real. Around day 60, something remarkable happened. Marcus's uncle, the one who drank and slept on the couch, asked him, "Marcus, what's different about you?" "What do you mean?" "You just seem different. Focused, like you know where you're going." Marcus smiled. "I changed my environment, Uncle Ray. That's all." "Your environment? You still live here. Physically, yeah, but mentally?" "I moved out 2 months ago." On day 90, Marcus met David at the same coffee shop. David looked at Marcus's laptop, a portfolio of 15 logo designs, 3 website mock-ups, testimonials from 5 local clients. "How much have you made?" David asked. $800 in 3 months. David smiled. "That's not the point. The point is, are you the same person who walked into this coffee shop 90 days ago?" Marcus thought about it. He thought about the library, his new friends, his morning routine, his clear mind. "No," Marcus said, "I'm not." "Good, because that person was controlled by his environment. This person," David pointed at Marcus, "this person controls his environment, and that changes everything." 1 year later, Marcus had moved out. Not far, just a small studio apartment 20 minutes away. But it was his. Clean, organized, filled with design books, a proper desk, good lighting. He'd built a small graphic design agency with 12 regular clients. He wasn't rich, but he was free. And more importantly, he was growing. His younger brother started coming to the library with him twice a week. "Teach me what you know," his brother said. Marcus became what David had been for him, proof that escape was possible. When people asked him, "How did you do it?" he always gave the same answer: "I didn't get stronger. I didn't find motivation. I changed my environment, and my environment changed me."